Don't do it. I can see you now. Somebody just recommended to you their favorite book, and you think, I've got to read that one because that one probably has all the answers that I'm looking for. That one is going to change my life. Yet, if you're like me, there are probably 10 other books sitting on a shelf waiting to be read because you went through the same process with all of those books. Today is an intervention about buying books. I love reading books. More than reading books, I love buying books that I intend to read that I never get to. A lot of people set goals these days of, I'm gonna read 100 books in 3 days. And some people are able to do it. Some people that can read a book in a day terrify me, but I still set the goal for myself of I want to read 50 books this year. I think I could pull that off, which is very ambitious of me. I've literally never been able to do that. I feel like people who say they have done it are lying. I have good intentions with books. I think like if I pick up this book and I read through it, I'm going to learn so much. It's going to change my life and I'm going to remember everything. Yet when I finish a book, probably 2 weeks later, if you ask me to tell you really anything about it other than the general concept of the book, I probably couldn't do it. And this is a huge problem for me because what's the point in reading a lot of books if I'm really not retaining it? But what I'm trying to do now is to decide the books that I want to read this year, and I'm not going to worry about reading them as fast as I can so I can get to the next one. I'm going to start taking my time with them, and I'm going to start really studying these books because I really want to take all the information from what I'm reading now and try to directly apply it into my life in a more meaningful way, because I'm always like, I'm going to remember this, I'm not going to forget it, and then I do. And so to improve my book reading experience, I'm setting a few intentions for it. The first thing is I'm not going to try to read 50 books. I'm going to try to read 5 to maybe 10 this year and really try to invest myself into the books. How I plan to do this is, one, I'm going to start taking notes. I'm going to start highlighting things. If I'm reading it on my iPad, I'll, highlight the sections and I can go through and review that. If I have the hard copy, I'm going to go through and I'm going to leave bookmarks of pages where I really found stuff valuable, and then hopefully create a document of all of the information I got from this book. That way I can always go back and reference it, because that would benefit me a lot more than just thinking if I read it once, I'm really gonna take it all in and never forget it. The second thing that I'm going to do, which I'm really excited about, is I'm gonna start making videos about these books, about the things I learned from them, and sort of start my own book club, if you will. I think that could be pretty cool, and I'm really excited about that because then it's accountability to finish the book because I want to make a piece of content about it. I think that there are little things I pick up from everything that I read, for sure. There are things that sort of stick with you in ways that maybe I don't even fully realize, but I think taking the time and really just investing myself will give me the opportunity to learn a lot more, to put all these things into practice, and hopefully allow me to, if I study it, then maybe I can actually remember it and go back to and have a document to reference. And 10 years from now, I can actually tell somebody what I loved from a certain book, other than like, I love that book, you've got to read it, it was awesome. And then they ask, well, what did you love about it? And then I just stare at them because I don't know. So where am I starting this year? I'm actually going to go through and reread a book that is a favorite of mine. I made a video about 5 books that changed my life a few months ago, and I think that rereading some of those favorite books honestly is the best place for me to start. And so if you want to join me, first book we're going to start with is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F. This feels like a really good book for me to read right now as I'm sort of going through a lot of changes in my life. I'm just trying to start documenting my process more and putting myself out there. And it's really easy to let the opinions of people and the pressures of society really get in the way. And so just having a good reminder, I feel like will be helpful for me. So down in the comments, let me know your process for reading books. Are you actually able to retain things if you just read it once? I know there are some of you out there that can do that. I envy you. It makes me very angry. Or maybe you're someone like me and you try to read all these books and you have good intentions, but you also just kind of need to change up your process and stop buying so many books that you're probably just not going to read. And also let me know, what are some of your favorite books down in the comments. I always love to see recommendations. I'll put them in a list, but I'm not going to go and buy all of them this time because that is always a mistake for the space in my house and also my wallet. My wallet would be a lot happier if I would be more intentional about the books I bought. But that's my video for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It really helps the channel. Make sure to subscribe for more content every single week. And other than that, my name is Chris Jordan. I appreciate you being here, and I will see you next week. This is my favorite genre of books, the whole genre of books that have the F word in it, but they bleep them out. It makes me laugh every time I'm in the store and you have like spiritual books, you have kids books, and then you have the section that's all about the word